Welcome back to the channel. How can a country reward a man accused of terrorizing villages, kidnapping children, and taking lives? You refuse dialogue with a man whose greatest weapon has only been his words. Nigeria is in shock after a notorious bandit was honored with a chieftaincy title. At the same time, Nnamdi Kanu, the leaders of IPOB, remains in chains. His calls for peace and dialogue ignored. This is not just another headline. It is a reflection of a justice system that rewards violence but punish truth. Stay with us, because as we break down this story, you will see how this single act exposes Nigeria double standards and why this country continues to sink deeper into crisis. Now, let's roll the clip.
It is unfortunate.
One bandit was given chieftaincy title, and the government officials were invited to the ceremony, and they attended it. Is it not the same country where they were giving bandits wives? One state was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be...
Oji, look at the military fatigue the guy is wearing.
Come on.
If you dare wear that camo, the military will beat you blue black in public. But look at him wearing the military cap.
Unacceptable. It's the audacity and boldness of impunity. That's
bandits and terrorists are criminals.
They are altogether. We take the story in Katsina State, where reactions have trailed the peace deal negotiations between one of Nigeria's most wanted terrorists, Isaiah Kwashen Garwa, with a community in Faskari local government area of the state. The deal was announced on Sunday in a post on X by Zagazola Makama, a security analyst specializing in the Lake Chad region. In the post, Makama explains that for a long time, the terrorists had been linked to kidnappings, killings, and raids across, forest areas in Katsina, as well as neighboring states. Reactions to the story have been divided. While some see the development as a chance to restore calm in long-troubled communities, others question the sincerity of the bandit leader, recalling the atrocities attributed to his group. I mean, look at this man out there holding a rifle. He's out there, Rufai, and meeting with community members. And this is the sort of conversations we're having right now in Nigeria. I'll take the reactions trailing the story, and then we will continue. In the meantime, here is a reaction. This is from an ex-user, wrote on X. Is the peace deal the required justice for the numerous lives that were wasted and are still wasting so many years of setbacks, not only for the direct victims of insurgency and the Northeast, but also for the country in general? Negotiating peace with bandits and enemies who held the entire country hostage for so many days is synonymous with encouraging others to constitute themselves into groups to wage war against the country with the mindset of being granted amnesty after so many years of infiltrating havoc and destroying lives. Meanwhile, a peace deal that was intended to end years of violence in Nigeria's northwest has collapsed after bandits abducted 40 worshippers in Zamfara state. The peace pact had been signed on August 28 between community leaders and bandits in Katsina State. However, less than a month later, gunmen attacked a mosque in Gidantobe village in Safe local council and abducted dozens of worshippers during morning prayers on Monday. Despite the setback, the Katsina State government is saying they support community-driven pacts with repentant terrorists, but maintain a policy of zero negotiation. What sort of contradiction is that, Rufai?
So when you see a society that the oppressors are beginning to have a very free reign, and the people that the government ought to protect, the government can't protect them, so they try to look for deals with their oppressors. These are vestiges of a dysfunctional society. You will have thought that this government will focus on that, but they'll never focus on that. They'll focus on politics. And that's why they were doing elections in Zamfara State, 5 local governments. I can't still process that thing. They deployed officers from Gombe and other parts, military officers, battalions were there. Insecurity, you will never see that kind of mass deployment. You see, because number one, the government doesn't really care about you that much. So you are left in the hands of kidnappers and bandits. You have to beg them for peace deal. And that's the dysfunctional society we live in. And it's that kind of dysfunctional society that breeds people like Bago. That Badegi FM held his feet to the fire. He felt no other thing to do. He said he was going to demolish the station. Thank God Badegi FM didn't call to him. You know how many media stations that have called to dictators and outright bullies in this country? They took him to court and he was repelled. Now he wants to look at the sermons of preachers. At a point, if care is not taken, I'm not saying he has done it, but at this rate, maybe he'll start looking at all the phones and the call log of everybody because he wants to censor thoughts. The best antidote to react, if they say you're not doing well, is to do well. But in a large regard, in very big aspect, yes, he has gotten some successes right in agriculture, but in trampling of rights and things like that, he has not done well.
Yeah.
And we have to tell him what it is. In that interview, he made many blunders. And please, his chief press secretary should walk him about what they call image. He thinks he's straight talking, but he says a lot of rubbish. Just like what he said in that interview, that Borgu local government is bigger than the entire Southeast. Empirically, it was proven to be wrong. Borgu local government is not bigger than the entire Southeast.
Right.
So is this not the same man that told his police orderly to slap an imam or something?
Yes,
and the next thing, his reaction was, oh, he was an imposter. So even if it is an imposter, you say they should slap people like that.
All right.
So, you see, we have a dysfunctional society that celebrates dictators, give them a free rein to rule, to lead, to hurt, to demean. And we are meant to go and say rankadede to dictators. And when you speak out, you are told that you are not patriotic, and they will couch it around religious and tribal lines.
I mean, this is the situation that we have in our hands at this point. We have this terrorist leader who's actually on the number 9 on the DSS list, most wanted, and he's out there. His pictures are there, and he's negotiating with the community. It is unfortunate. It is unfortunate. We have a picture of the man.
Bandit was given chieftaincy title. And the government officials were invited to the ceremony, and they attended it. Is it not the same country where they were giving bandits wives? One state was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be...
Oji, look at the military fatigue the guy is wearing.
Come on.
If you dare wear that camo, the military will beat you blue black in public. But look at him wearing the military cap.
Unacceptable.
It's the audacity and boldness of impunity. That's
bandits and terrorists are criminals.
They are.
They do not deserve jollof rice. They do not deserve chieftaincy titles.
Yes.
They do not deserve any form of negotiation.
No.
The law of the land must be made to follow its course.
The bandit crown the freedom fighter shame. What you just saw was not a movie scene. It was a real life. A man known across communities as a bandit was given a crown, a seat of honor and recognition. They call it a step toward peace, but the irony is sharp. While a man of violence is celebrated, a man of words, Nnamdi Kanu, is shamed. His trial drags on endlessly. His voice silenced. His followers left in pain. This is the kind of image that make people question whether Nigeria truly knows the meaning of justice. It makes one wonder if this country has lost its moral compass. Because if criminals can be crowned and truth tellers can be caged, then what message is being sent to the citizens? Stay with us, because in the next segment, we will show you how this act is not just hypocrisy, but a dangerous precedent for the entire country. The hypocrisy of peace deals. For years, Nigeria's government has begged armed groups to drop their weapons. They call them to negotiation, offer them amnesty, and even reward them with money and protection. The explanation is always the same. We are searching for peace. But this definition of peace has a clear bias. When Fulani bandits accept amnesty, they are embraced, they are labeled repentant. But when Nnamdi Kanu asks for dialogue on behalf of millions of Igbos, the response was handcuffs and prison walls. It is hypocrisy. A government that pardons those who bring blood cannot forgive a man who brings words. This is why many say the system does not want peace. It wants silence. It fears the microphone more than it fears the AK-47. Stay with us, because in the next part, we will ask the crucial question: who really threatens Nigeria? The bandit or the freedom fighter? Who truly threatens Nigeria? Let us put emotions aside and look at the facts. Bandits have burned down villages, kidnapped school children, stopped farmers from planting food, and left traces of dead. Communities live in fear of their next attack. Nnamdi Kanu, on the other hand, did not raise a gun. His power came from speech, from broadcasting, his ideas from demanding that the voices of the Igbo people be heard. So, who is the bigger threat to the national security? The one who kills and kidnaps, or the one who questions the government? Yet, Nigeria's treatment makes it clear the real enemy in their eyes is not the man with a gun, but the man with a microphone. And that decision says a lot about where this country is heading. Don't go anywhere, because in the next segment, we break down how Nigeria has built a system that rewards violence but punish peaceful agitation. A country that rewards violence. Every society has a moral compass, a line between right and wrong. But in Nigeria, that compass seems broken. When bandits drop their weapons, they are welcomed like heroes. They are given amnesty. They are even celebrated with crowns. But when citizens demand justice peacefully, the response is brutality. Protesters are tear gases, activities are arrested, and voices like Nnamdi Kanu's are silenced. What does this teach the younger generation? That peace does not pay, but violence does. That if you want attention, you must kill. If you want recognition, you must destroy. It is a dangerous lesson that will only fuel more chaos in the future. In the next segment, we ask the question that many Nigerians are asking. If bandits can get peace deals, why not Nnamdi Kanu? Why not a peace deal with Nnamdi Kanu? Government officials travel across the north to sign peace agreements with armed groups. They negotiate, they compromise, they beg, but when it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, there is no room for dialogue. The doors remain closed. Why is this? Why? Why can bandits be trusted with negotiation, but Kanu cannot? The answer is uncomfortable. The government fears Kanu's ideas more than it fears bullets, because while a bullet kills one person, an idea can move millions. That is why Nigeria refused to sit down with him. It is not about peace. It is about fear. Fear of the truth. Fear of change. And that fear exposes the government's weakness. In the next segment, we look at the deeper message it's sent to the Igbo people. The message to the Igbo nation, the double standard, is clear. To the Igbo people, it says, if you fight for your rights with words, you will be crushed. If you carry arms, you may be rewarded. This message builds anger, distrust. It tells millions of Igbos that they will never be treated fairly in this system. And when a people feel they cannot get justice, peace becomes impossible. That is why the detention of Nnamdi Kanu has become more than a legal case. It is now a symbol of the unequal treatment of an entire region. By crowning a bandit, the government has only confirmed what many already believe, that justice in Nigeria is selective. But the danger does not stop there. In the next segment, we explain how this act set a precedent that may encourage even more violence. The dangerous precedent: when a notorious bandit is rewarded with a crown, it does not end the violence, it spreads it. Other young men are watching. They see that crime pays. They see that if you kill enough, kidnap enough, and terrorize enough, one day the government may not only forgive you, but also celebrate you. On the other hand, they see that peaceful protest leads to chains, that using your voice leads to jail. This is a recipe for disaster, because it means more we choose the path of violence, while fewer we believe in the power of peace. The government may think it has won peace by crying a bandit, but what is really done is fuel tomorrow's chaos. In the next video, we dive into why Nigeria seems to choose its enemy and why those enemies are never the ones killing the people. A nation that chooses its enemy. Every government must identify threats. But in Nigeria, the choice of enemy is strange. The government see more danger in Nnamdi Kanu's speeches than in the action of armed bandits. They chase afterwards while ignoring bullets. This selective vision explains why violence continues to grow. Because when you fight truth but tolerate killers, you create a country where justice has no meaning. It also explains why many citizens feel abandoned. They see their leaders protecting criminals and punishing critics. Until Nigeria redefines who its real enemies are, the crisis will only deepen in the next segment. We turn to the Igbo people's anger and why it will not go away as long as this injustice continues. Why the Igbo people are angry? The anger of the Igbo nation does not come from nowhere. It comes from years of feeling excluded, ignored, and mistreated. When they see a bandit crowned and Nnamdi Kanu in detention, the message is clear. Your voice does not matter. Your pain is ignored. Your justice will never come. This anger is not just about one man. It is about an entire people feeling denied their place in the nation. And anger, if not addressed, always find expression, if not through peace, dialogue, then through unrest. That is why many say the detention of Nnamdi Kanu is not solving any problem. It is creating more. In the final segment, we close with what justice should really mean and why Nigeria cannot find peace until it changes its approach. What justice really means. Justice is not about crying killers. Justice is not about silencing truth. True justice means treating all regions fairly. It means listening to voices like Nnamdi Kanu, not caging them. It means building peace through dialogue, not through hypocrisy. If Nigeria wants peace, the solution is simple. Stop rewarding violence and start respecting truth. Stop giving crowns to bandits and start giving dialogue to freedom fighters. Until then, this country will remain in crisis, trapped in its own double standards. So, if you believe in fairness, if you believe in dialogue, and if you believe that no society should celebrate criminals while silencing truth, then share this message, comment your thoughts, subscribe for more analysis, and let your voice be heard, because silence only strengthens injustice, but awareness brings change. Hashtag justice for Kanu. Hashtag free Nnamdi Kanu now.